Late Night with the Devil is a 2024 mockumentary slash found footage horror film written and directed by Cameron Kearns and Colin Kearns. It stars David Dastmalchian as Jack Delroy, a late night talk show host that will do anything to be rich, famous, and be number one in the ratings. And he was very successful at first, gaining fame and notoriety by getting invited to what could be only described as a mock Bohemian Grove, where powerful, successful, elite people gather to conduct business, strategies, and occasional occult ceremonies. His show ends up becoming a very successful late night talk show, but he can never beat Carson. No matter what he does, he's never number one in the rating. In fact, his number one episode is where his wife came onto the show to discuss how she has cancer and how they're both dealing with this. And even though it was one of the highest rated shows of the night, it still didn't beat out Carson. And after his wife's death, his ratings start to plummet dramatically. Wanting to secure his position as one of late night's greats, and with Sweeps Week coming up, Jack decides to host a special Halloween episode in order to boost his ratings, where he will have a renowned medium, a renowned skeptic, and a parapsychologist who authored a book titled Conversations with the Devil, where the author discusses treating a young girl named Lily who was the sole survivor of a cult that worshipped a demon known as Abraxas. And on Jack's request, the author brings Lily to the show to discuss how she survived the cult and how she is still possessed by the demon Abraxas. Jack assumes by taking this Halloween episode into the paranormal realm and in actually discussing what could be real or fake paranormal activity will boost the ratings and allowing him to secure another season of his show. Unfortunately, everything goes wrong in the most glorious way possible, with secrets being revealed about Jack's past and what he was willing to sacrifice for his success. I really like this movie a lot. I think it's one of the best horror films I've seen in a long time, but there are issues I do have with the film. But I really, really do like this movie. I like the story. I like the concept. I like the execution. Almost. There are issues I have with it. That's probably the main issue I have with the entire film. But I love this. And this is what I was talking about when I was talking about the other films that deal with the occult. I think that's one of the main things they did do really, really well is they focus on this cult that worships this demon called Abraxas. And anyone who witnesses these dreadful rituals that go into conjuring up Abraxas will fall under the spell of the demon, which is basically what happens to this little girl as she was brought up into this cult and she witnessed these rituals and she ends up becoming the only survivor of it and she's possessed by this demon Abraxas. Now, while this is going on, at the same time, you have this skeptic who is supposedly, I think, supposed to be like James Randi, who was this guy who would go on late night talk shows and debunk anything, any paranormal investigator, any magician, any person said they were a medium, anyone that said they had the ability to do telekinesis or anything like that. He was a debunker and he would go and just crap on your parade. I think he went by the name The Amazing Randi. So he would go and do that on late night talk shows and always say that there's nothing to it. It was skeptical, and that's what this guy does. And he's in there doing this on this show too. So they bring this medium on at first, and then all of a sudden something happens to him, and he senses something and gets the name of a woman that's supposedly trying to talk to somebody in the audience or somebody in the studio, and that's when things start to happen. The medium has never felt this before because he might have been full of crap, but this time he really did feel something that he's not used to and is affecting him seriously, and he starts regurgitating and he ends up having to leave to go to the hospital. The skeptic is still there, and that's when Lily is brought in by the author. I forgot what her name was. I think it's June Ross Mitchell is the author, and it seems like she had a relationship with Jack Delroy. As soon as she comes out, she gives him a look before she kisses him hello, and then later on when he gets close to her, like when they're backstage, he's going to talk. So there's a lot going on in this film. I will say I love the occult thing. Like I said, okay, that's what I love. I love the occult, how they handle the occult. I love the introduction to our character, our main character, Jack Delroy, going to his backstory. And I like how it was presented like a documentary, mockumentary, and also supposedly using footage from the actual episode that aired, because this is all about an episode that aired that was one of the highest rated episodes of all time, going into the backstory of the lead host of the show. And then we're supposed to see like something tragic happen at the end of the night, at the end of the show. Okay, I loved all that. The one problem I have, one of the main problems I have with this movie is I think that gimmick that they were doing, I think that though I do like it, I did like it. I think that kind of hurt the movie at the end of it all because I don't know. For me, at the end, it gets good and things start happening, and then all of a sudden it goes into something we're not supposed to see because this mockumentary is supposed to be the show and what we see behind the scenes, and there's supposed to be two different types of footage, and then all of a sudden we get into his mind and what he's seeing, which we're not supposed to see, which they kind of say that, you know, there's a moment where the skeptic hypnotizes somebody and actually ends up hypnotizing everybody in the studio, and supposedly everybody at home too. So maybe they're trying to say that everyone got to see that. I don't know. I don't think so. That's the only issue I have with that. And the second issue I have with the movie is the special effects were horrible. That's the only, I think it was really bad. Everything they did, special effects wise, was terrible, in my opinion. Now, other than that, I like this movie a lot. I like the writing. I like the story. I like the idea. Jack, I'm going to go to spoilers. So Jack basically sold his wife's soul. This Bohemian Grove thing where or the Grove, as they call it here, is where the elite people go and they perform satanic rituals, and basically it's the same rituals that this occult that this demon Abraxas that is in this girl Lily worship, also this demon, that they also worship this demon. So he wanted fame and success, and he wanted to be number one, and he ended up sacrificing basically his wife because she got lung cancer, terminal lung cancer, and she never smoked a day in her life, and it was very odd and strange, and he basically sacrificed his wife so he could get fame and fortune, but it didn't work out that way because his ratings started going in the tank, and he probably never thought that anything, you know. But the girl Lily does say at one point, "Don't worry, I'm pretty sure everything's gonna turn out just fine today." So that was good. But no, I really like, and I think the girl who played Lily, I don't know her name. I think it's Ingrid. I don't know how to pronounce her last name, Torelli, or I don't know. She was great. She was fantastic in this movie. David Dastmalchian is great in everything he does. I saw Prisoners, and I thought he was fantastic in that. He was great in Ant-Man. He was great in Suicide Squad. I think he's a great actor. I'm surprised he's not doing more roles. He should. I really think he's a phenomenal actor. Yeah, I like this movie a lot. This is a great film. The only problems I have is the special effects were terrible, and that whole ending, which basically confirms everything, and it's like the big reveal, like, because you heard in the intro of that he was invited with these elites and he did that, but you don't know if he actually sacrificed his wife and if he killed her or anything like that, and they still don't say he killed her, but he probably went there, he did do a ritual and said that he has to sacrifice something, and then in this dream state at the end, and then it shows like the doors opening to his studio, but it's really ends up showing his wife dead, sick on the bed with cancer, and you know, so that was what he sacrificed. He sacrificed her. So I like this a lot. I love the occult, and I love the occult in general. I used to, you know, look into it and study it. I never heard of Abraxas before, which is interesting and new for me. So I really found this really good. I like this movie a lot. I think like I said, my only criticism are those two things in the film. I think that for me, it hurt the movie. So I'm going to give this movie 4 out of 5 stars. If you haven't seen Late Night with the Devil, you should definitely check it out. Anyway, if you saw Late Night with the Devil, go down to the comment section and let me know what you thought about the movie. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are on it. Did the CG bother you? Did that little scene affect you at all? I still like the movie. 4 out of 5 stars is a great rating. Hit that like button. Subscribe if you're new here, and I will talk to you guys next time. Peace.